All right, class, come to attention. How do you guys feel today? Awesome, sir. Let's bow. Let's start off with our student creed. Set position. Student creed. Student creed, sir. Line 1. I pledge to develop myself in a positive manner. Line 2. I pledge to use what I learn in class constructively and defensively. Line 3. I pledge to foster friendships and contribute to my community. And bow to up. All right, guys, so our first warm-up today, we're going jumping jack sets around the world. So we're going to start with regular jumping jacks. We do 10 of those. Once we do that, we move on to our shuffle jacks. Feet out, hands to the side, then we're going to cross everything in the middle here. Then we go back out. All right, so that's shuffle. Then finally we wrap it up with the Nordic jacks, or I know a lot of us know it as the robot jacks. One hand up, 1 foot forward, one hand down, 1 foot back, and they're going to swap this way. Notice I'm keeping my feet touching the ground. Every time one hand comes down, that's 1, 2, you get the idea. We're going to 10 for all of them. Normally and around the world, we'd face every single direction. We're just gonna do 3 today, front, side, and side. I don't want to make you guys stare at the back of my head for 30, 40 seconds, right? So going right towards you guys, I'm gonna turn to the side and then turn to that side, and we'll wrap it up there, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. 10 of each, ready, set, and make sure you count along with me. Go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, shuffle jacks next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nordic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And turn this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nordic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're in the home stretch here, everyone. 8, 9, 10. Shuffle. 1, 2, 3. I'm switching which hand is on top each time. 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Nice work, everybody. Now, let's jump into the rest of our warm-ups here. We've got 45 seconds for each one. We're going to be going with diamond push-ups, regular crunches, and plyometrics. Now, let's go in that order, all right? So, little push-up position. And with a diamond push-up, hands right in the center here. Just get as low as you can. It's better to keep good form and start to increase, get lower and lower than to break the form and get all the way to the bottom. So, hands down. Again, we're going about 45 seconds. Ready? On your marks, get set. And now that I have a timer going, 45 seconds, go. Remember, like I said, as low as you can while still keeping posture. So if that's just right here, that's fine, right? That's gonna help. These are working different muscle groups than our regular push-ups. It's targeting the triceps a lot more, which are a lot smaller muscles than the pectoral, right? The chest muscles are right, the pecs. So we're working just the triceps. Now, smaller muscle, having to push up your weight still, a lot of times makes it a little more challenging. 10 seconds left. Oh yeah. One more. And break. All right, we've got crunches next. Remember, with a sit-up, you would go chest all the way to the legs. With a crunch, you just need to get your shoulder blades off the ground. Again, 45 seconds. So, on your backs, ready, and begin. Right, just get the shoulder blades off the ground. We don't need to go all the way up. Just make sure you're keeping the core tight, squeezing your ab muscles, right? Do your best to make sure you're not using momentum either. It's easy to pick my legs up and kind of roll myself up, or to take my arms and throw, but try and keep it in one spot. All right, 10 seconds left, everybody. Let's keep going. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and break. Make your way on up to your feet here. we've got one final warm-up to do. We're going plyometrics. So with these, you're gonna keep your feet together. You're gonna jump side to side or front and back. You get to pick which one, and if you wanna switch it up in the middle. As you go, I'm trying to find like an imaginary line on the ground here just to jump over. I'm trying to keep it really quick, so it's not this big launch, but instead the quick switch of the hips, okay? 45 seconds, go. Another good one for our heart rate here. And then we'll jump into our message of the week right after that. Do your best to keep your hands up here as you do this as well, all right? Set that, I'm blanking on the word right now. Set that habit, right? That way as we practice our kicks, you already have that habit built to keep those hands up. 10 seconds. Oh yeah. You're gonna go a little faster. 4, 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, everybody, make sure to stretch a little bit here on your own as we go through our message of the week. Our message of the week this week is the bamboo story. It's this story about a farmer who decided to plant bamboo and tried a long time, tried to get this bamboo to grow, and as months turned into years, they hadn't seen any progress, but they decided to keep working. They continued to work as hard as they could because they wanted to make this work. They wanted to see progress and reach the goals of getting this bamboo forest to grow, right? So they keep working hard, and then one day when they wake up, they see that this little bit had sprouted, right? And they could have thought, oh man, I've been working for years and all I got is this so far, but better attitude, they looked at it and said, hey, I see some progress, right? It's working. Even if it's a small little bit, I know something's working. So they keep trying, they keep working as hard as they can, longer days, right? Just to make sure everything is ideal. And guess what? After another week goes by, it's grown a little bit longer, right? It's grown a little bit taller. They keep working harder and harder and harder, right? And then like 3 days goes by and it's doubled. Until one morning when they wake up and they go outside and they've seen that it sprouted like 20 feet up in the air. And all this time they'd been working hard for this moment. And the big thing that could have happened was, right, they could have gotten really discouraged after that first year. They could have been discouraged when it got to 1.5 years. They could have been incredibly discouraged when they finally saw some progress, only to see, it's only a little bit. But they did. Because they understood that even though they hadn't seen any progress, there was progress being made. It was just underground, right? The roots were growing deeper, which would allow it to grow up tall. And that happens to us a lot in just our day-to-day lives and different activities we work through, right? Maybe I'm trying a new sport, or I picked up a musical instrument over quarantine because I had all this free time, right? And maybe in that first month you don't see a lot. You're like, oh man, I can't quite get my left and right hand working together in the piano right now. Well, hey, at some point it's gonna click, right? At some point it's going to get better and you're gonna improve at it. And that's just from taking time and making sure you are patient, because when you work hard, the results will come, even if you don't see them right away. A lot of times you are improving, you just don't quite realize it yet. So, the bamboo story. All right, everyone, it's time for some pinions. Let's jump into the final section of our forms. All right, so pinion number 7. We wrapped it up last module, making sure we got all 25 moves, but I really don't want to do 25 moves and then say, let's forget about it, right? If you only do something once, you're bound to forget it really quickly. So this week, we're going to get a good chance to review it, really work on the flow of the different moves, and really create our own pinion out of this, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do one quick review of all 25 moves just to make sure we're on the same page there. And then we're going to get a chance to go through it as that soft style, that hard style, and trying to find a good mix of the two. So 4 total times. Let's do our review first. And real quick, just mention it before we start, right? Especially the higher ranking pinions, there's small variations that have happened through time just under different instructors. So there will be some moves where you might be thinking, I thought my instructor mentioned something like this, or I thought this happened over here. Very well could be true, right? I know one really popular one is stepping forward, and move number, I think it'd be 8 there, having that check or no check. So, an option there. But just so you guys know, okay? Let's jump into it. Let's take this wall as the front of our room. We go set position, squatting position or horse stance. Side to side, 1, 2, double strike, 3, double strike to the right, 4, side to side, 5, strike to the right, 6, strike to the left, quick note, remember if I'm striking to the left, my left hand is on top. If I'm striking to the right, my right hand is on top. 7, 8, we're stepping with the left, punching with the right. 9. Right foot moving, rotating 90 degrees to the left into a nice forward stance here. 10, 11, 12. Remember, this one just goes to shoulder width. 13, 14, 15, 16 is our double shooter chop double long. Judo chop, cover, chop to the other side. Same thing next move, which should be 17, right? 17, judo chop, double, long. 18, 19, 20, tiger claw. 21, bring it around. 22, that back of the hand strike, dinosaur strike. 23, horse stance. 24, back nickel right, back nickel left. Make sure you look at your techniques, don't just throw them out there. And 25, finish it off. Hopefully those all feel pretty familiar, right? Especially working on the last couple weeks here. So if not, make sure you rewind the video, watch it again, practice a little bit more here. But our next one here is gonna be completely soft style. Remember, soft style does not mean sloppy style. I'm not just gonna kind of throw my arms out there. It should be smooth. And so if I'm comparing soft and hard style with just side to sides, the soft style would be a little more circular. You still see that as I switch, that I've got an elbow strike going behind me. But comparing this to that, that's a hard style. Where I'm gonna swap my hands, double punch in front, and pull back. Right, so I'm gonna make this Pinion 7 all soft style. As we go through, make note of which moves feel better as a soft style technique. And when we go through for that hard style, make note of which ones feel much better as a hard style technique. You're gonna get an early kind of idea of where you want more of those hard style pockets in the forearm and more of those soft style sections, okay? So let's go for it. Now let's get a hard style run through. Remember, I like solid strikes every time. Still needs to be sharp. Alright guys, I'm gonna leave that last one for you to do on your own. I want you to get ideas of what I feel better with as a soft style or hard style technique. I want you to feel it for yourself, because that's the only way you're gonna get that pinion to be your absolute best. So again, as you go through that soft style, find those moves that feel much better to do as that soft style technique. When you go through hard style, there's probably ones that feel a little bit more natural as you go through there too, right? So make note of that, and when you start combining them, you'll have a good understanding of where to start off with. Final thing to mention here, make sure that you find your kios, right? I don't have too many in that one, but you want to have about 1 for every 5 moves. So if we've got 25 moves, divide that by 5, about 5 kios in your opinion would be a good place to be. Find the moves that you like the most. If you can, spread them out a little bit so you don't have 5 kios in a row at the beginning and then silence throughout the end of it, right? I don't think that would happen, but you get the idea. So space them out, make sure that you've got your kios in there, about 1 for every 5 moves. So nice job on Pinion 7, guys. Let's jump into our next set of curriculum. All right, team, for our next set of curriculum here, you might see that I'm already holding the stick here. Might give you an idea of what we're doing. We're working a little bit of Senkotiros today. So before we jump into this, right, I'm gonna be using the stick here. If you've got one at home that you can use, awesome. Please make sure that you've got a lot of space around you so that even if you mess something up and your stick comes out like this, you're not gonna accidentally hit anything, all right? Or even better, watch for right now. Maybe you got like backyard or something to practice. Ah, good idea, right? If you don't have a stick and you still wanted to practice, if you've got like half of a pool floaty, it works really well. Or anything that kind of resembles a stick, right? It can help you still practice. Even if it's getting down to like using a wooden spoon, right? That could be a substitute for this. So let's jump right into our Senkotiros practice today. So to make sure we can practice safely, let's talk about how we stand and how we hold the stick. When I'm in my Senkotiros, or in my stick fighting stance here, I'm gonna have 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. Notice my toes are pointing towards you. I'm gonna bend my knees, and I'm gonna keep my weight towards the front of my feet. When I'm holding the stick, it's gonna be right out in front of me. And if you notice I've got the stick in one hand, the foot on the same side is going to be forward. I'm gonna make sure that that stick stays vertical, right up here in front of me, and I'm making sure this other hand that's not holding onto anything, which is called our live hand, is gonna stay up right by my chest. Last couple things, and we'll get into that, right, into the actual techniques today. When I hold onto the stick, it starts at the top of my palm, I roll it in. I'm gonna keep a little bit of room here at the bottom. It's called the Pinion, about 2, 3, 4 fingers width's worth. And then I'm gonna make sure that anytime I strike, that I keep a 90-degree angle between my arm and the stick. That way I can make sure my strikes still have power. Now today we're going over the first 3 strikes. Our style, if I didn't mention earlier, Senkotiros, roughly translates to 5 strikes or 5 throws or 5 strikes. So there's 5 strikes, and we're gonna be going over the first 3 today. Strike number 1, or angle number 1. We get to do it on both sides, a forehand and a backhand. I'm gonna take the stick, I'm gonna drop it down to the side, and using my hips, I'm gonna turn until the tip of the stick points at my target there, which would have been you right now. So that's my angle 1 strike. I flip it over, same thing other side. Angle 1 and 1. Good, one more time. Drop the stick down, keep that elbow tucked in, keep the 90, strike with the tip of the stick. Angle 1, angle 1. Now angle 2 is gonna come down diagonally. So I'm gonna bring it up, not anything past my shoulder. I wanna avoid bringing my hand way out here, right? Just up a little bit, turn the hips and strike down. And again, like angle 1, I can go on both sides here. Notice I'm trying to use my hips to rotate for this strike, and I'm keeping this live hand up. And the final thing you might notice is that I've actually been breaking this 90 at certain points. As long as I'm not actively doing a strike, I don't need to keep this 90. So after I've done my strike here, I can point the stick and bring it around to get to my next strike a little bit quicker. Because the important part is keeping the 90 when I make contact when I'm doing my strike. Now finally, angle 3 is gonna come up at the angle. So 2 was down, 3 is gonna be up and up. All right, so let's go over all 3 one more time. Stick down, drop, one side and the other. Angle 2, down, and angle 3 comes up. Awesome, that's what I want to start with today, especially if you've been just training online. You may not have a chance to see our Senkotiros work at all. So I wanted to make sure that you got a nice intro to this. So again, those are the first 3 strikes, guys. I'm excited to build a nice strong foundation with this, a strong base, and we'll build on it in the future. Nice work. Announcements, everybody. So first things first, starting next week, we're gonna have the opportunity to start working some classes inside again. So we're really looking forward to that. Still keeping these online classes going as well. You get a chance to train from home, still earn tips at home too. So if that's something you prefer, then still keeping that option available to you. Remember, there are still private lessons you can sign up for, both in person and virtual. So if you'd like to do that, follow the link in Discord. Up on the top left side, it should say private lesson information. You can find it to the Google Sheet there. And it's got all the info of how you sign up and how we work them through Discord, and how you can kind of set the settings to make sure it works for you too. If you're interested in our social distance camps, our after school camps, then please send an email to us, director@inspiredojo.com. We can help get you set up for that. Great way for kids to get a chance to work on homework, have a little bit of help from instructors, and then get some martial arts classes in as well. Finally, I'd like to thank you guys for being patient as we get these videos out. So you guys know there's a lot of things happening all at the same time, and things change really rapidly. So there's some times when there's just not quite enough time on Monday to get all the recordings finished, and I gotta finish them a little later in the week. But I appreciate it, you guys being patient with that. We're working as hard as we can to make sure we get these out as quickly as possible. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, or rest of your week, I should say, and I hope you guys stay safe. I miss you all, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tip submissions next week for our last sections of our opinions. Let's bat out of here. Class dismissed.